the sun was getting a little bit intense after a while, and we were both getting a little footsore as well. So I spotted something called Scotia Square, thought that it might be a mall, it might just be a transport station, but either way, thought, well, I might as well give it a try and take a look. And sure enough, it seems to be something of a mall. Not much, but enough to wander about in for a bit. There's also a connecting hallway that'll take us across another couple of streets too. So that might be interesting to track. It would seem that Canada is much more like the States than it is like Europe in this respect. Their malls are spacious and there are plenty of spots for stores, but there are also a lot of them that are unoccupied or closed or whatever. So, yeah, sorry Canadians, this is one where you're following in our footsteps. After all that walking about, we figured we'd stop and get ourselves something to drink. And since this is Canada, I figured we'd get ourselves some Timbits as well. So, I don't know that we're going to go into detail as to what we're having, but let's just have a quick sip and see what happens with it. Daniel's is supposedly an infuser with mango and starfruit, and mine is a frozen quencher with blackberry and yuzu. Now, I eat a lot of blackberry at home, don't eat a lot of yuzu. I would imagine the sweet and sour will go together pretty well. Actually, I don't taste too much of the sour, or maybe I just don't recognize yuzu. Definitely very sweet, but you know, the frozen bit's refreshing. How about you, Daniel? Any opinions? Is it any good? All right, I guess I've got to taste it. I'm not sure where the mango ends and the starfruit begins, or vice versa. Very tropical, but I imagine that's equally refreshing. So, there you are. As long as we've got you on here, quick taste of these. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything different than the Munchkins back home. They've got a little more squish to them. They're not quite as cakey, but I think that's a good thing. You know, those are hard and a little dry. These are moist and soft. I can see why the Canadians love this place. Although I'm told that the real thing they love is their coffee. So, not a gourmet, don't know from coffee anything. But as long as they like this stuff and the coffee, good on them. Well, that was a pleasant enough little interlude. Allowed us a chance to rest and refresh, although the one problem is once you're sitting down, you really lose the resolve to get back up and get going. Yeah, it's like, they seem to have a few of these throughout the city, and I guess this is a common thing in most of the Canadian cities to have a few of these pedestrian walkways above the streets, both to get you across and to get you around without having to deal with the winter. Which, being from Chicago, that would be welcome to have in our area. And there's a whole network of these in this one stretch between Barrington Street and the pier. It's kind of reminiscent of the connections between the hotels and the convention center over in Rosemont too. Well, these pedways are a nice way to get around, especially in inclement weather, which ironically today is not. But it does seem to connect mostly hotels to each other, and as we're not staying at any of these hotels, we're probably not supposed to be here. As long as we don't mess around with anything, we should be fine, but at the same time, we might as well make a point of getting out as soon as the getting's good, so we're making our way to the door now. You know, forget about getting one's sea legs or land legs. The real trick around here is to get one's mountain legs, maybe? I don't know. Trying to deal with hills and the like when you're used to flat prairie back at home is the real challenge, because I keep stumbling over the slightest incline. You'd think after all that time on the treadmill I'd be used to it, but nope. I think this is the last stop on our little scavenger hunt. We've actually found the Maritime Museum even though we weren't really looking for it. We're not going to be going in, I don't think. We certainly don't have we have the time, but whether we have the interest or not, yeah, not so much. But we found it, so there's that. So we've been chased from the street by yet another sidewalk closed sign. So we're wandering through a parking lot, thinking we can make our way down to the pier. Now, Daniel thought we'd stop at the pier after doing some shopping, but since the one shop we were looking at is on the opposite side of the ship as most of the pier, I figured we might as well go through the pier on our way and see what happens from there.